Welcome to another edition of Bowie TV Sports Spotlight. During this hour, we're bringing you highlights from our shows focused on all things sports in the DMV. Please be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. First up, on Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie State University defensive lineman Jamal Jones shares his thoughts after being invited to the HBCU Legacy Bowl game in New Orleans. On Baltimore Ravens Rundown, we catch the highlights and press conferences from the Ravens' last practice ahead of their Week 17 matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Lastly, we take a look at highlights and press conferences from the Commanders' Week 17 loss against the Dallas Cowboys on Christmas Day. Don't go anywhere, and as always, enjoy this week's episode of Bowie TV Sports Spotlight. What's going on, everybody? Y'all know what it is, man. I'm your host, Pitts and Push Sports Talk Radio, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live once again. We're talking HBCU Legacy Bowl, and who else do we have than the pleasure of having my guy, Mr. Jamal Jones, defensive lineman, Bowie State University. What's going on today, man?
What's going on with you? Glad to be here.
Glad, man. I appreciate you for joining me today.
Yes, sir.
So, look, we're going to start you off with a couple icebreakers like everyone else, right? So, first and foremost, if you can, tell us what your favorite food is.
Chicken all day long, any type of chicken.
I was about to ask you, baked, fried,
Yeah, it don't matter.
Okay. Favorite vacation or dream destination?
Yeah, I like Florida a lot.
Okay. Yeah. You like the sunny weather, the beaches?
Yeah, just all around the people, the environment.
Okay. All right. Lastly, if you have one, what is your favorite NFL football team?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Man, you said that.
Yeah. Lions up next.
Lee. Okay, got it. Dallas Cowboys. So I guess I asked you, what did you think this season? Do you really think y'all gonna make the playoffs?
We're definitely making the playoffs. We knocked up the Eagles. We knocked up the Chiefs. The Lions are next.
All right, let's get it. Y'all heard it here, man. My guy Jamal Jones said the Cowboys not only are making the playoffs, but listen, the Lions are on the clock. Yeah. Jamal, man, such an amazing accomplishment. You being able to get your invite to the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Before we tap into the specifics towards the Legacy Bowl, if you can you walk me through what was one of your most memorable games this year?
This season for me had it been Winston-Salem State. It was just like the electricity in the crowd when I made plays, how defense was just fired up the entire time, kept us in the fight, and just the way the crowd responded to everything.
Winston-Salem, that game was live for sure.
Yeah.
So, listen, the selection experience. You get the call, the text, the message from HBCU Legacy in regards to you making the team. How did it feel when you first found out that you were selected to the HBCU Legacy Bowl?
I ain't gonna lie, like I was on the game with the fellas, man. I just happened to look at my phone, and I seen the text, and it just came at such a random time. It was just like, it was unreal for a second. Because it's like, on the game, you look down, you're like, oh, like. But I mean, I felt as though it was well deserved, and I put in the work for it.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. I asked that question, man, just to give that, it's something that as a young kid, or whenever you started playing football, everyone strives to make that moment, that mark, to leave that legacy of the work, the discipline, the commitment, the hard work that went, the work ethic that went into it, so such a big accomplishment because, you get to display all of your attributes and talents in front of all 32 teams and GMs and NFL coaches and scouts. So again, definitely well deserved and definitely well earned on your behalf. when we talk journey and background, can you share a bit about your journey to college football and what motivated you to pursue this path?
Been playing football since I was young. Went through youth football, and I attended Riverdale Baptist in high school. Played all 4 years there, and so like I say that's when I really fell in love with the game, like high school,
Okay.
because I have so many of my teammates in the NFL now. So it's just like I knew it could come true. You just keep putting in the work, as many workouts as possible, whether you gotta go 2, 3 a day, and just keep going. So then I started off my college career at Virginia Union under Coach Parker. I had a pretty good season there, and then I was able to get an opportunity to go to Towson. That's why I played 2 years at Towson. Then I came to Bowie and then finished out my last 2 years. So I say my college experience was really good, man. I got to see it at the higher level. I got to see it at the HBCU level. And I learned a lot over my journey.
And that's what it's about. It's the nuggets that you gained and being able to, form them. Pick, take the good, the things that you can apply, the things that you've learned into the next destination. As far as the growth, in regards to your game, being able to see it from, as you said, from all different phases, whether it was the Towson, the Virginia Union, or the Bowie State. Your HBCU experience, how has being a part of the HBCU shaped your football career and your personal growth?
I say when my HBCU experience, my knowledge of the game really grew. And by saying that, I mean just a lot of classroom talk, a lot of meetings. Coach Williams real big on meetings, and just to see the game through his eyes, and then like to know the game on my own because I played in so many different defenses. So it's like I can once you know where the pieces go, you grasp the concept real fast, and then when you know the pace and how the flow of the game is going, you start to see the same tendencies and the same plays over and over again, which allows you to play fast and strong and make a lot of plays.
Absolutely. If you can, man, if someone was to approach you and ask you, you know, your experience or your experiences that you've been able to experience in HBCUs, if you was able to sum it up on one word, what would it be?
Hard work. I say that. I say hard work to say is the HBCU experience. You know, you got your distractions. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got your, but at the end of the day, to be amongst the ones that get the opportunity to go to the next level, you got to stay focused mentally, physically, and just like not allow those distractions to weather you away. It has to be about the ball.
Goals and intentions. What are your main goals for the HBCU Legacy Bowl, and how do you plan to stand out?
I want to go down to HBCU Legacy Bowl and make a statement to show that I'm one of the best HBCU defensive players in the nation. I want to go down there and win MVP in the game, and I want to go out there and raise my stock for the draft.
Given it's been a couple years since the HBCU Legacy Bowl has been into existence, have you been able to, speak with any previous players who went through it, who experienced it, who kind of gave you any feedback?
Yeah, Joshua Pryor and Raymond Boone.
Mm, yeah, JP.
Yeah,
Man, that boy is, whew,
yeah,
that boy, he's a runner.
they gave me some good. They gave me some good advice on it, man. When I got the invite, I saw both of them, and they told me how I was supposed to be down there. Go down there and do your thing.
When it comes to the NFL combat preparation, or the part where you guys are able to work out for the 32 different GMs, coaches, etc. How are you preparing for the combat part of it, and what specific skills and attributes are you hoping to showcase?
So right now I'm training with Coach A. He's my strength and performance coach, and then Coach Tank, very very well renowned, defensive line trainer. They're shot
Yeah,
skills, to be able to compete, and be at the highest level that I can in front of everybody and stand out.
absolutely, man. Definitely know Coach Tank. Shout out to Coach Tank, man. I see all the work
My
that
God,
he's doing and putting in, man, all across the net. If you can, Um, what advice and inspiration, would you give to a younger athlete who's aspiring to follow in similar footsteps?
I would say, with my journey, I wasn't the most highly recruited kid. So what I say is the hard work gets noticed. You put in the work, you get results. You never give up either. Like no matter your situation, no matter if you come out with no offers, no matter how small the school, you know what I'm saying? I would say if you don't get the big school, look for HBCU because now that's where the opportunity lies. Like whether it's D1, D2, this has become one of the prominent bowl games and one of the prominent ways to get to the NFL. So Power Four FBS, if you don't get there, it's not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? HBCU is another gateway where you can be able to compete and get your stamp in the NFL draft.
One of the things, I've always stated, when it comes to HBCUs is that, one, the culture, I think, of course, is different. Um, but then also, if the funding was level, if HBCs receive similar funding, to some of the power schools, I think we'll see a big shift in, especially media rights, right? Because now you have a lot of, top players that's committing to HBCUs, similar to like what Travis Hunter did when he went to Jackson State initially. Um, but when you talk about what would you like to see differently, or what would you like to see more of when it comes to media pertaining to HBCU athletics?
I think we need more televised classics and rivalries. You know what I'm saying? I think like HBCU sports is doing their thing too, but just like how Southern and Grambling just played on NBC, we got those rivalries all throughout HBCU. Like you got Bowie and Virginia State. You know what I'm saying? That's a big time one right there. You got Morgan versus Howard. That's another huge one. Like I just think it needs to be like more like televised, like NBC, Fox, CBS, just for the big rivalry games and the historic classics.
Is there anything that you think that we could do um, to try to really help push that agenda along? Is this something that you think that we can do differently, or you know, I see that the SWAT just hired Marshall Falk at Southern, so they're bringing those names, but my hope is that the cameras come for the universities, not just for the names, and how we can really try to piggyback on that to pull the cameras in other areas, such as big games like a Morgan and Howard, or a Dale State and South Carolina State, or a Bowie and Virginia State.
I feel like it's an all around effort, but I feel like the attention comes when you got the guys that go to the next level, so go to the NFL, go to the XFL, and make that stamp because then that draws the media like where this kid come from. They have to have more of those guys back where he came from, and I do think the NFL Hall of Famers and superstars that are coming back and putting the shine on HBCU sports is good. Shout out to all them guys, man. We played D-Jack this year. He had a lot of good things to say. Like it's just very good that they're giving back and they're giving us this platform. I honestly think it's gonna grow. Like I think we're gonna get a lot more TV time in the future.
Man, have you ever been to New Orleans?
Nah, it's my first time.
So it's a business trip for sure. Are you a foodie person?
Yeah, I like to eat.
Well, listen, New Orleans, they give you large portions of food for your buck. So I don't think eating and food is going to be one of those things um, that you'll have to worry about for sure. When it comes to your future aspirations beyond the NFL, what are your long-term aspirations both on and off the field?
Well, I have a degree from Towson in criminal justice,
Oh, okay,
and so
congrats.
I would most likely pursue a law enforcement career, like after football, if I had to pursue a career.
That's amazing, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Once again, we highlight the athlete, but not it's your student first. And, a lot of you guys already having degrees, getting your second degrees. That's crazy work. That's great, man. Keep up the great work. Keep striving. Keep going. Um, you know, I watched a few of the games this year, and when it comes to the field, you don't really say much, pregame, but during the game, it's loud when you hit. Your presence is felt. Just talk about, what's your mindset like? Do you have any pregame rituals or, things that you do prior to each game?
I like to give the glory to God, just to be able to play the game and be there. But the reason why I don't say much is at the end of the day, I got to see that man got to see me just like I got to see him. So all that talking and back and forth, I don't believe in none of that. I believe in letting the past talk. So it's a game of many battles, and at the end of the day, I want to come out winning the most battles. I want to win the war at the end of the day, and I feel like I do a good job of that.
No, I definitely do a great. You do a great job of that, which is another reason why you got the nod and the invitation. Excuse me, for HBCU Legacy Bowl. Watching the way you shot blocks. It's funny when you guys played against was it Elizabeth City, and this year was my son's first year, and they actually had him at the DN position. So I was telling him, I said, watch zero. Just watch zero. It's just the way, I love the way, you attack the play, but the way you're able to one shy off the blocks, the way that you're able to still, engage with the block, but still keep your head, up, being able to see where the ball's going, things of that nature. I think it's not only like I said, well deserved, well earned, but also man, just for the younger kids to come out. Like I intentionally bring him, just to see because you guys made it, regardless of what it like. There's a lot of kids who has a talent that wasn't able to play in college, and for you again, just your presence, the way you work, the way you go at it. I think I'm excited to see, man. I can't wait to get up there for the practices, to watch you guys engage with each other, iron sharpening iron, but then also for the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm excited too, man, and I appreciate that the way what I'm saying I approach the game because you know a lot of the game is just watching film. Like that's really how I'm able to do what I do. I watch a lot of film. I follow guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. They emphasize watching film, so that's what I do. And it's just like it slows the game down. Like I can see everything moving slow in real time while I'm engaging and shedding this mind. So, man, I would say to the younger generation, man, watch film. Like if you have access to the film, watch the film. The film will tell you a lot. And then your key, your key can only do but so many things. So once you see the key, respond to it, man, and then go play football.
Let's go, man. He said it best. Jamal Jones, defensive lineman, Bowie State University, HBCU Legacy Bowl 2025 is going down at the Union Stadium was it Tulane University in New Orleans. If you have not gone in the previous years, I urge you guys, as fans, as parents, as supporters, to go and show out, man. You'll enjoy yourself. It's a hell of a game. And also, want to support the student athletes for their hard work that they've done. So again, man, kudos and congratulations to you.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
All day. This is a Bowie State thing. I be having to figure out like, do I want to play the intro? Because I know a lot of guys they be like, wait, it's just like Bowie and Morgan. What about us? But it's love. It's HBCU love. At the end of the day, I focus primarily, on Bowie and Morgan, but the goal is bigger than just both. My goal is to really try to bring a media exposure to anyone that I have. But the focus still being Morgan and Bowie because Bowie is where I went. So of course, got to start where I laid the tracks down for myself. But
For
hey,
sure.
man, I'll see you in New Orleans. We gonna chop it up in New Orleans. Get a couple interviews. You already know I'm gonna take a lot of pictures down
Right.
there. So I look forward to it, man. Enjoy it. Keep working out. Keep doing the things necessary. Keep grinding. Congratulations on the criminal justice degree. And again, man, keep going, man. What they say, my mom and them always say, it's God's will to happen, and sometimes, when the journey isn't ideal to what we thought, it's really just setting us up to humble us, to strengthen us, to give us the endurance and the endure the path that we're traveling. But write it down, make a plan, man, and everything that you've done and everything that you speak into existence, God grants your desires.
Yes, sir. Job not finished, man. I'm excited to be down there, and I can't wait to see you down there.
Hey, have you ever had crawfish?
Yeah, not a lot though.
I ain't gonna hold you. I'm one of them that I can't really do it. I see a lot of people eating them, but I'm like, nah, it just don't look like my cup of tea.
Tastes like crabs a little bit.
Well, if somebody could crack them and just pull it, then we'd be good. But again, man, I appreciate you, man. Good luck again. I look forward to speaking to you down in New Orleans, man. Y'all heard it. This is Jamal Jones, defensive lineman, defensive end, Bowie State University. It's going down. 2025 HBCU Legacy Bowl invite. Bulldogs will be in the building. Let's go.
Yeah, day-to-day, good practice today. So we'll see where it's at tomorrow and as we go forward.
So could you, I guess, kind of explain, like to the layman, what the consequences are of a contusion? I think people heard you say bruise and they're like, why can't you play through that? But obviously, you see NBA players miss a week, 2 weeks with these contusions.
Oh yeah. I guess it's not like a black and blue mark. These are deep tissue contusions. I'm not a medical guy, but I did see the MRI. It's legitimate, very painful. It tends to muscles lock up around it. You can't really move very well. He's in that process now of loosening all that up, hopefully. And you can't really say when it's going to be right. He's got to be able to play. He's got to be able to be an athlete, be able to move. And so when a contusion, that word, that type of damage to the tissue happens, then you have to be able to play. You have to be able to be an athlete. You have to be able to move around, do your thing. So that's what you're working back towards with all the treatment. So believe me, if he can go out there and do it, this guy's one of the ultimate competitors that you're ever going to see. If he's able to go, he's going to be out there.
Obviously, Snoop has played plenty for you guys over the years, this year included. What have you seen from him so far this week?
He's looked good. He had a really good day today. Had a good walkthrough yesterday. He's on point with the game plan, so he's been running the practices, obviously, and doing a very good job. So if it goes that direction, we'll be excited. We're excited to go play the game either way. So that's kind of where the guys are. That's where the coaches are, players. Everybody's ready to go play the game with the guys that we have on game day.
John, is there a simple explanation for why Green Bay's defense is so much better at home than on the road?
Oh boy, I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't really looked at it from that perspective, but we expect to get the best version. That's seems like that's been a theme this year. So I'm sure they'll be ready to play as well. They're a tough team, a well-coached team, disciplined team, etc. And that's what you expect.
John, with the stakes, what they are, do you have to mention anything to the team about what this game means for your playoff, or do you think everyone just kind of knows?
Well, everybody knows, but we talk about what we talk about. The conversations that we have are very close, personal conversations. We've been with each other all year. With most of the players, we've been with each other for years. So the relationships are very close. So when you're in a close relationship, you don't have to spell things out robot-like fashion. We understand the depth of every situation. So the guys know. The guys are going to go play really hard and really well and do their best to go win the game. I'm very confident in how they're going to play, how they're going to perform. I love the way we're doing so many things, and just like them and me and everybody else, we want to put it all together. We haven't really put it all together yet. We've had moments, we've had games, but we like to put it all together like we believe we're capable of doing.
Going back to Green Bay, at the moment, it looks like they think Malik Willis will be the quarterback. Just what have you seen from him? It's backup now, but first-round pick.
Yeah, we don't really know. That's information that's good to know. Is that how it looks?
I mean,
I haven't heard that.
Last I heard.
Really? What's your
Don't
sources?
quote me, though.
You just quoted yourself.
Malik
You tell me Malik is going to be the
he
quarterback?
didn't practice today.
Oh, he didn't practice.
That was
illness.
due to
Illness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
A
this
lot
is
of
the
layers.
other day.
There's a lot of layers.
There are a lot of layers.
Okay. So I guess that's kind of probably directs me to the answer. We'll have to prepare for their offense first. You've got to get ready for the offense. They run the same offense, both quarterbacks. So that's where we're kind of working. But we understand that the way Malik plays, we understand the way Love plays. So with that in mind, our guys, whichever quarterback's out there, will kind of, will know who the quarterback is and how they play. But Malik has done a great job. I mean, I think he's had a good year when he's played. He's very elusive back there, throws a good ball. His timing and his mechanics have really looked good this year. So he's obviously a very dangerous quarterback. He looked good in this last game when he played. So we'll be very respectful of him or whoever's back there playing quarterback.
John, it seems like whoever the quarterback is, the Packers play with a certain tempo. They seem pretty. How, as preparing that defense, how do you try to make sure everyone knows how quickly they get up that line?
Yeah, we've worked on that the last 2 days. We worked that extensively today. We show the clips, we show the TV copies of it too, so you can hear the words of what's being said too, as much as you can get through that, just to try to understand, what's coming, when it's coming. And it's not just like one version of just they play fast.
Mm-hmm.
They've got different types of tempos, different types of plays within those tempos that come up in different situations. And there's ways to recognize what they do. But more than anything, we've got to operate quickly and be on point, be locked in, and see people coming out of the huddle. Do a good job with their own substitutions, because we don't want to get caught substituting in a situation where they're going fast, because they can get you with too many men on the field or get you off balance with the call. All those things are really important. We've seen it before. It's not the only team that does it. We've handled it so far this year. Hopefully we can do a great job there handling it as well.
What's if you're going to be the starting quarterback, I know it's still undetermined now, but if you are, how do you kind of deal with that pressure of knowing this Saturday it is a must win? If you don't win, eliminated from the playoffs.
Man, a lot of our games been must win. Shoot, it's every week we must win, so we got to focus on going 1-0 this week, and that we're doing everything that we need to do to get that.
If you do start, do you feel like the opportunity you have with the Bears makes this a bit more seamless, working with the offense this time around?
Just being here every week and working gives us the best opportunity to be prepared. Just going through the ups and downs of the season, you know, that's preparing us to, you know, get ready for this game. So we just got to come put it all together and then make it happen.
Is that kind of a theme this week with coaches and players, that like putting it all together? You know, that like you haven't really played that A+ game yet as a team, and that's really what you want to see on Saturday night.
Yeah, because like you guys said, it's a must-win game, and we done had a lot of games where the defense played great, and we had games where the offense played great, you know, special teams played great, where we just want the whole game for everybody to play great.
Steve, if you have to start, what kind of conversation have you had with Lamar in terms of advice, things like that?
We just talk, like we just talk football, and you know, it's no pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been here before, or if that's the case, and you know, we just getting ready, you know. That's it.
Yeah, the last time we talked to Lamar was after the game, and he did seem like he was in a great deal of pain. How is you know, seeing him and talking with him, and, you know, how is he dealing with the back injury?
Definitely, I don't think he had an injury like that before, but I feel like he's dealing with it pretty good. You know, he's in there getting treatment and everything, and you know, he's still in meetings, he's still coming to meetings, and so he. I feel like if he's ready to play, he's gonna play. So I think he know how to deal with it the best. He know how his body feeling, and I think he's gonna do a great job of it.
Snoop, Lamar's taken a bunch of hits over his career, and he's had to play through injuries, including this season. You know, can you just speak to, as somebody that's close to him, how tough he is and how big of a competitor he is?
Definitely, you know, he continue to go out there and play at a great level every time he's on the field, and you know, that goes to show that, you know, he don't be feeling the best, but then he go out there and get his A game every time. So, man, hats off to him.
You know, when we talked to Kyle Hamilton after the game, he said it's pretty rare to see a backup quarterback come in a game and it be that seamless and run that offense like that. Why do you think for you it has been kind of a seamless transition when you get kind of just thrown into some games?
Yeah, you know, because just, you know, situationally over the years, you know, I've been thrown in there a couple times, and just preparing myself during the week, where that's why I think I gained the most confidence, you know, just trying to just down the playbook and then just, you know, be ready for it.
And how much do you feel, though, I mean, because, you know, obviously you might be a free agent at the end of the year, that you see this as a opportunity to maybe, whether it's showing the Ravens or other teams, what you can do as a quarterback?
Man, I look at it as a blessing, you know, to be able to just play football, you know, and I just appreciate that, you know, being able to play football. That's all I take from that situation. Everything else is playing cards out.
Snoop, we saw you link up with D-Hop a couple times on third down on Sunday night. Just what kind of security blanket is a guy like that for you in those high leverage spots?
You done seen it many years before with D-Hop making plays, just, you know, catching over dudes and everything. He can make the play for you when you need him to. And, you know, he's all state hands. You know, he's in good hands. So you throw the ball over there, he's gonna make the catch. That's right. Yeah.
Do you get a little something for that?
Nah. You know, we working towards a win if we make all the catches that we need to do and all the throws that we need to do and all the runs and blocks and all that.
I opened up Instagram and NFL, I just seen it on NFL. And I was like, oh, I made the Pro Bowl.
You did, really?
Yeah, in the morning when I came in to do some treatment. And I just
So what was your reaction?
I made the Pro Bowl. Like I was still like mad from the game. So
okay.
But I'm happy that I did. But yeah, it's a good accomplishment. So I appreciate everybody that's doing it.
Yeah, knowing Saturday, must-win game. I mean, you have to win to stay away from being eliminated. How would you describe kind of the vibe in the locker room, the atmosphere for winning that game?
Like you said, we just got to go win it. So we don't want the vibes to be 2 downs and going to the next week with a down mentality and play with that mentality. So everybody, we just trying to lift up everybody's spirits and get back to winning football.
How tough is it this season just to make the Pro Bowl? It's another really good year, but obviously not the position you guys want to be in going into this game. Has it been kind of weird to you all in any way?
Definitely weird because this is my first time experiencing it here. So it's been a lot of ups and downs, but it's the NFL. Sometimes it's how it goes.
Is there any difference in having Lamar throw you the ball to Snoop? I mean, it seemed pretty seamless when he came in the second half last.
No, not at all. It's just we believe in our quarterbacks. We believe in all the quarterbacks we got, and whoever step in, we know they know the system, and they know that they're gonna give it their all.
So is it weird to go against Jeff Athlon?
Yeah, but I went against him when we went to Green Bay last year. We had like the joint practice, and I was talking to him a little bit there. But that's pretty funny that his defense is now I'm playing against him, and I was playing with him in college.
Did you expect? I mean, did you know when you played for him at BC that he could now be like a potential
Absolutely.
coach as soon as next year?
Because we was in some games at BC, we was in some games that we shouldn't have been in. Like, if I'm being honest.
Which kind of you feeling though? And everyone kind of wants to know. People are asking, do you think Lamar's going to play? Do you think not? Which kind of you're feeling?
I don't really know. I'll leave that up to the trainers and stuff. So I can't really answer that question if I'm being honest.
Well, just because you're a couple of clockworks down from, didn't know if you might have some more information.
Nah, I don't got no info. I ain't got no info.
To make the Pro Bowl 2 years in a row in a conference as talented as the AAC, I mean, just like, what do you think this has shown to people around the NFL, to the front office, just about kind of where you stack up?
I think just show that I can play with the best of them, and I'm willing to do the work. I'm gonna put the work in, and I'm gonna do everything I can to, win. Or I don't want to sound selfish, you know what I mean? Because all these guys helped me get to that point. So it's a blessing. It's all God. If I'm being honest, it's all God.
Is there a different feeling between your first and your second Pro Bowl?
Yeah, I was definitely happy. I know y'all seen the video. This time I was just like, after a loss too, I was just like, I appreciate it, but I would have had to take the win, if I'm being honest.
Describe the mindset of this team right now.
So far this week, been a bunch of guys going to work, focusing on this week, controlling what we can control. That's all you can do in life, and that's what we're doing.
Do you even have to say anything about the stakes and must win and anything like that? Is that something you guys talk about?
The energy's been great around here. It's there's no quit in this building. We've seen that from the start of this season, and we're going to continue to fight. We may not be in total control, but we're going to control what we do this game and the rest of the year.
I know it's still kind of up in the air as far as starting quarterback, whether it's Lamar or Hunt. As far as Huntley, though, what has really impressed you the most about him as a quarterback?
There's a lot of incredible things about Snoop. I think that he runs his offense incredibly well. He's a very versatile player. He gets the ball out, he sees things really well. I think that one of my best years was with Snoop, so I've got a lot of chemistry with him, and just seeing him grow throughout the years has been truly special. He's a one-of-a-kind human being, and just the type of quarterback that he is, I know he's going to continue to be the leader that he is.
We were just talking about it. Do you have fonder memories, or do you have good recall of the last time that you played the Packers with Snoop at quarterback?
Yeah. There was that was fun, and obviously we didn't get that win, but I know he's thinking about that. But for us, it's just about focusing on now, focusing on this team, and what we can control this week.
Saturday's game, you have to win to keep the playoff hopes alive. What do you feel is kind of the attitude and the mindset of this team right now?
What's the attitude of this
team? Knowing that it's such a pressure-filled game.
We have to go win a football game. Have the pressure. Ball all out. We're gonna win. We're going to straight with the game.
Is that something you guys don't even have to talk about?
We don't have to talk about what's at stake.
That's what
You know what it is. We got to win.
A lot's been made about touching the ball the last 12 minutes.
I'm past that. I mean, that's over with. It's happening all the Green Bay.
Just had to ask.
What's your thoughts about this Green Bay defense? What do you see on film that kind of stands out?
Yeah, I think they're a really good defense. I think they're solid top to bottom. They fight to the ball, really tacklers in the secondary. It's really stout, and they are a good defense. I think that's why they've been really good throughout this season, but they're trying to fight for a playoff spot too. But don't feel they fire out the ball. They play.
And I know the quarterback situation here is still undetermined. Like if Kyle Huntley does make the start, what has kind of stood out to you about him when he is?
Oh, but he goes there. Like he's the starter. He practices that way and prepares that way. So yeah, those go out there.
have to learn. Thank you. We have to learn and grow from this. You know, the lessons that go into it, they're incredible. I'll give you two examples that came to mind. The Debo play in the first series for the pass was 40 yards. That was one of my favorite plays by him this year, and he's had a lot that I liked. It absolutely lit us up, and we get inside the 5-yard line, and we have to kick a field goal. Defensively, the one that comes to mind is the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 16. We allowed 14. We, then allowed a conversion on a 4th and 2. At that point, it's 20-27, like right into the battle of it. So created some negative plays on 2nd down, and you're like, shit. So those are the winning time moments that I'm talking about. Looking at the game, there were, things that certainly I liked, like for Bill Krosky-Merritt to have a long run, like that's hard to do, that distance. You see long runs, but not that long by running backs. Then defensively, I just had a moment with Johnny Newton. I thought he was disruptive, wreaked some havoc in his space to go, and so those were some things that stood out to me. Coming into the game, it was going to be important for Josh Johnson taking care of the ball. that we could extend some drives to keep their offense off. I thought he did a good job of that. It was just the opposite, where they had the time of possession and converting the third downs, especially in the first half. You guys, that was, I thought, just a big deal. So wasn't surprised we fought back. The third downs were much better defensively in the second half. The fourths weren't to the standard that you want all the game. But that was my message. That was what I wanted to get across to them. Love our fight, but the execution, just isn't to the standard that needs to be to win the games. And give credit to Dallas. I'm not taking away from Dak and offensively any of them. They're not the point. So that's where I'm at, and I wanted to kind of share some of my messages with the team and where we're at.
Real quick. With Tyler, what is their fear there?
Tyler had both a knee and an ankle, so hopefully sprains on both, and we'll get a better sense gets an MRI and imaging of that tomorrow, but that's where we're at on him.
And then you talk about the winning time moments, especially on defense, 87 plays by them. Is that a matter of positioning, just not making plays, execution? What was the issue, do you think?
I'd say a little bit of both, John. There was certainly one, like the touchdown was an execution one, the long one I'm talking about to Turpin in the first half. So yeah, there was certainly some that it was execution, certainly some, let's get a better call into that space if we can. But there was a couple of times like we doubled both, 3 and 88, and you say as a coach, they got to go win somewhere else. If they do, I can live with that. That's not execution. That's just competing and battling, and that part to go. So you just kind of do what's best and see where you go. But so I'd say a combination of both, John.
And then with Bill and Johnny, what growth have you seen in them that led to games like this?
Yeah, I think for Johnny, I felt like the football knowledge, because I kind of questioned him on that too. What did you see? Because most often when I see a player have a good game, I say, I want you to write some things down tonight that you saw, especially when it's a division game, because there'll be some things that could repeat, and you don't want to have to wait till next year. And so when you have anticipation of plays, that's when you can really be at your best, and there might be a set of a guard, John, or a certain formation or something that can trigger you to say, I know what to do here. I know how to go make one. So that part of the football knowledge, I thought, instinctually, those are big things, and so I felt that from him. From Bill, I felt like the competitor's mindset. I guess it's no surprise. Our captain on offense missed the game. That's probably par for the course for where the hell we've been on some things this season. It was the right call. Chris is as tough as they get, and he was not able to go. And so for an extended role for Bill going into it, I knew he was ready. You could see he's disappointed, mad after the game, and I know we'll get his best every time, John. So those are two of the guys that jumped out to me, and I'm sure I'll have others to talk about for the game. But the winning time moments, that's the one that sticks out to me the most tonight. We had some chances to go for it on a fourth down. We false started. Those are ones that just, man, we've got to nail those. And no one's going to play a perfect game, but we for damn sure can't just go hard. Like, it has to be going hard and getting the job done. It's not just, no one cares, you just go hard. You got to do both.
I have no voice, so hopefully this works well.
Less questions for you.
For Bill, just how have you seen him handle mentally sort of the ups and downs of his rookie season?
Yeah, the thing that comes to mind that I'm impressed by is, like, coming in, I know this was a short week, but some of the running backs told me this earlier, like, he likes to meet early and get ahead. So when we got to, how we were doing blitz pickup meetings, he was the one answering. Like, he's so urgent about wanting to deliver for the guys, Nicky. So I think that's where I'm seeing the growth on the protection side, taking what's there in the running game. Early on in the season, it was kind of make a big play where it was 2nd and 1, can I get the first down? So finding the end zone, that's a big deal in the long run. Getting outside and finishing, those are some of the things. But I've seen him grow a lot in the knowledge of the game plan. Those were big.
Line down 3 starters in the second half. How do you feel like they handled everything?
I was heading into it. We made Nick Allegretti one of the captains today after Chris wasn't able to go. And then with Tyler going down, moving Nick inside to go, Brandon also into that spot. So I wasn't surprised that they were able to function together completely. We've got good experience at the position, and you don't know where you're at until you lean in on it at depth. And that's proven to be a position that we didn't have to lean in on, but now that we do, I'm comfortable with that group, Nicky, knowing that they've got experience to go compete and play. And so you don't know until you're there, but I for the season, I felt like that was going to be one that had good depth.
Dan, Josh was at the podium and just really, taking in the loss and being upset about it. And I wonder if you could just explain, like, for people that are maybe watching this game on the outside and see two teams that aren't going to be in the playoffs, why it's still important to play at a high level and why it's still important to win games.
Yeah, I definitely can. And I wish I could share some insights to you to see all 5 quarterbacks like in the meal room this morning at 7:45 or 8 o'clock going through another walkthrough together to push to get it right. And so I think that kind of speaks to those Cliff and calls and going through things again. When you get your moments, you want to establish, what you can do and prove it. And I think that's at the core of it, David, like the prove it moments. Those are so important. And so that's why I was bummed for Marcus when he, was injured. He had these, games to go prove it, and we'll see where he goes to next week. But that's what you want when you're in that space. And it's unlikely you get your chance as the third. And so, especially at this stage in his career, knowing, all right, this may be my last, chance to go show I can do this. And so taking care of the ball. We played differently today. I think you probably noticed that in terms of huddling more and going into that. And I thought that was by design to say, for all the players, where are their strengths? All these guys bring a lot of different things to the table and how we can feature them in that way. And so for us, it was going to be important, to execute, take care of the ball. And so with the flip of plays, I think, Dave, that was the hardest space, just not to get enough shots and cracks at it. And but to show that, man, I'm in it, I'm capable of doing this with the full week's prep and showing that, and everybody else leaning in around them to find that, it hurts because it's about the win.
You guys owned fourth down last year.
Yes.
And do you think there's a better way to kind of summarize what's flipped, that they were able to go for fourth down over and over and over again and convert all the time? I think
Dallas,
they were 6 of 6.
Yeah, to have 6 out of 6, man, that was impressive to see. So I attribute a lot of that to Dak, to where they're going to go. When you get into those short ones, thought their line did a nice job moving us off, to create, the movements. I think one was a sneak, inside styles of runs. And then on another one, like I said, we had doubled, some other players, and so I think they went one to Tolbert, and but that's hard to do, and they did it for sure. But yeah, the fourth down wins, that was as big a factor in the game as any, because those are possessions that end there, no points, no extension, no time, and so it's a big deal. We had a couple from our end that we were prepared to. Like I said, in the second half one, we were willing to go up to 4. It was like, 2nd and 1, 3rd and 2, and then a penalty on a false start that went to like 4th and 6 or 7. So, but I thought the 3rd and 4th downs was the difference in the game there. As much as they ran the ball, extending the drives was that way to me.
Take 2 more. Dan, with regards to Johnny Newton, obviously to have 3 sacks is, for any player, is a tremendous game. But based on what you've seen to him today and just this whole year, what gives you the confidence that this was not just a one-off in terms of production, that you will be able to see some version of this going forward into next year?
Yeah, I think the disruption, the quickness, Ben, so those are the skills that he has. And so to hear him put all the pieces together, anticipation of plays, how to go execute it to go, I felt that. And some of that's instinctual, to go, it's pass, it's a run, where can I go? And so it does take some time to learn that. And when you do, as a ball player, the game slows down, because now you can anticipate a little better. I know the defensive call, I got that. Now how can I apply my skills into this call? What you don't want, we had some of this early in the year, I'll go make a play, I'll go over try on one. And that's part of instincts, knowing when and when not to, much like a quarterback. Can I fit this one in or can't I, on a tight throw? And so it's no different at other positions. Do I go take my shot to run through? Can I, know this is a pass to hit a move? So to see those instincts come through, and it can slow down, and that's a little bit what we were talking about tonight post game. And you got to write those things down. What happened? What did it look like? So you don't have to search for it a week from now.
Tom, last one.
On the 3rd and 4th down piece, how significant of an impact does it have on the offense when the defense can't get off the field, and vice versa? Like, do you believe that there's kind of an interplay when one team, has a short drive versus a long drive?
Sure, I think on both sides, there's games when if you're offensively and, don't convert, those are hard. And then conversely, the same thing, like you're so ready to get going, it's, to go get another possession. And so to finish with, under 45 plays, like you don't get enough cracks at bat. And so those are significant changes in it, like double the amount of plays. And so like, shit, so it does have an effect, not an effect of like morale or that, just not enough cracks at bat. And so I think it's definitely a factor in the game, but not like the emotional pull. It's more if you're on the offensive or defensive side that's either converting, not converting, those are a bigger pull or factor, I think.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all you guys.
Josh, Merry Christmas to you too. What's it like to come up close but not there in this one?
It hurts. It hurts, man. Like, because even though it was a short week, we prepared well. The things was out there that we wanted to get done, and we just had a couple, plays here and there that we left on the field. And me knowing myself, it's gonna sit on me for a couple days. So it hurts. It hurts.
What can you say about a young guy, Bill's performance today?
Awesome. Bill's been awesome all year. We connected. Me and him had a connection through like an uncle of mine, Alonzo Carter, who's now the Sac State head coach, and Bill played for him at Arizona. And so we made a natural connection when Bill first got drafted. And Bill go out every day and get better. And so I'm happy for him that he had to have his moment, on this great day for people to see his talents, and he went out there and showcased it well.
How comfortable were you out there during the game, with all the work that you got kind of through the season up until this point?
As the game went on, things got more comfortable, started playing more football. Like, I tried to just play as clean as possible. That was my goal. I had to give myself grace with understanding that, the gray area moments are where it's hard, and that's where you really change games, though. But it's hard to really, in those gray area moments where you don't have a lot of time on task with the guys. So I just was trying to play clean and just give us a chance to win the game. We had a chance. Unfortunately, we just came up short.
What started, Josh, what started clicking for you guys offensively as the game went on?
Just getting in a rhythm with each other. The guys, it's so much little things that go into it, from the way I call the play, how I operate, how I see things, how they run routes in real time. We didn't really get a lot of full speed reps this week, being a short week. So as the game went on, we just started playing football. I felt like we just started playing football out there. Cliff getting in the flow of how I process things and throw the ball. So, all those things we had to discern, as the game was going on. And, I'm just grateful for everybody in this organization for supporting me this week in a tough situation. It just hurts, man.
Josh, what do you feel happened to those? You had a couple red zone drives that stalled inside around the 5. What do you think? What happened there?
Like I said, those are just the gray area moments. Like the one with Terry, like when they sent two guys over there, I just it was nothing in the world that would say he'll win. But Terry's a great receiver, and now I'm gonna go watch it on film and look back and see him win. It's gonna eat me up. But just trying to play clean, you don't chase those things. You try to play, stay in rhythm, play fast, just keep giving us a chance to win. And then the first one, they just made a good play. The other one, they made a good play on the sack. But we want to finish those drives. So that's all I got about that.
Then it's a short week. Then you have to change centers during the game. What was that adjustment like going from Tyler to Nick?
Honestly, I didn't even worry about it. I get more reps with Nicky than Tyler, if we're being honest. So I was like it was kind of natural for me to just go in there with Nicky. And my biggest thing was for both of us was just keep it simple. Nicky's a hell of a guy, great player, played in this league for a long time. I trust him. I trust all those guys out there. So at that point in the game, we wasn't even worried about it no more. We always more worried about Tyler and making sure he's okay.
Josh, in your career, you've joined teams that have been in this situation, out of the playoffs, playing the last few games. How does this team distinguish itself from those other ones you've been to?
It starts with our leadership. I think I said this earlier in the week. You would never tell our record. You could never tell our record, and I think you guys feel that way.